Hello, and welcome back to this week's Agape Leaders Monday Motivation. I am so excited to introduce this week's guest speaker. She's a young lady that I met when she was the junior class president at our high school. I am the junior class sponsor, so we got an opportunity to work very close together as we planned that year's prom and prom events. And by the grace of God, she allowed me to stay involved in her life. And so I got a chance to watch her go through college and graduate and take on her first job, then her second job. And so we are blessed to have her here sharing a little bit from her this week. So without further ado, here is this week's guest speaker, Courtney Cadiz.
Hi, my name is Courtney. I am super excited to do this with y'all. A little bit nervous. This is my sixth time, but we will make it through it. I prayed that the Lord will speak through me into y'all's hearts, and hopefully this will help even just one person get through another Monday. So I decided I'll speak on something that's kind of been a struggle for me and something I've been working through for the past year and a half, 2 years maybe, and that's just decision making. I feel like in my 20s, every day I just make this decision and another one, and every time I think it's so life-changing and altering and just, gonna make or break me, and that's not true. But we'll get there. And I finally started thinking about it and diving into it and really looking at what is going on. And I realized all this stress, all this anxiety, all this doubt that I have just screams to the Lord, hey, I don't trust you. Hey, when I said I gave my life up to you, apparently I didn't mean it wholly, because here I am sitting with all these worldly decisions thinking that it's just such a big deal instead of giving it up to you and resting easy every night. And so today I just want to talk about a few things that I've done and changed and found that's helped making the decision-making process easier and better. And first off, I kind of found that most of the time it's very black and white. I can go to scripture and quickly find my answer. I can sit there and say, well, does this decision lead me towards God or away from God? There you go. It's as simple as that. Is this going to make me better in His eyes or worse in His eyes? And most of the time, they're very obvious. It's just not always the decision you want to hear. And so I would sit with it and let it resonate, and I would go to multiple people and get opinions and make lists of pros and cons, and again, just stress over it and stay up. And so that is why it's important to surround yourself with God-serving and loving men and women, because when you go to them with this anxiety and this stress and you get their opinion, they usually quickly give it to you with God's intentions in mind, and the answer's really quick. But also just say, don't ask a million people. That's not one of my bullet points. Also, if you see me looking down, I've made bullet points, because if I don't, this will be like a 75-minute video, and then no one will watch it and we'll never get through it. That was my stepdad checking in on me, so love that. So let's get into these points. The first one is that I got back into spending quiet time with the Lord. I kind of let that drop as life got too busy, and how crazy that is to think now life got too busy to spend time with the Lord. Absolutely not. If you find yourself in that place and in that position, you are committed to too many of the wrong things. Take a moment, step back, say no to a few more things, maybe wake up earlier. Don't love that. But step one is to find quiet time with the Lord, and then piece in the rest of your day with whatever else you think you need. But that's the one thing you absolutely need. My second thing has been listening more to Christian radio and music, even if I'm just sitting at work and I just have music in my ears. I found that it's helped me be less stressed in everyday decisions, and my attitude towards the small things like traffic. Just listening to it kind of like calms my soul and refreshes me more than I thought I needed, I guess. And podcasts. There's a lot of great Christian podcasts out there, and so I would kind of scroll and I'd see a topic that really resonated with me, like, oh, how to make decisions with the Lord and run. I'm like, play 7 times on a loop. I need that. Thirdly was a change to my actual prayer. So praying sincerely and intentionally, but also specifically. So asking for very specific items in my prayer. There's nothing wrong with praying for that specific job, praying for that specific person, praying for God to heal your heart after a breakup, to guide you to the one that He has hand-selected for you. Obviously we want peace and we want love and we want joy for everyone in this world, but it is quite fine to go to the Lord with your questions specifically, and ask him for that. Sometimes I've just prayed, hey, Lord, can you remove this, or, remove this specific person or specific thing if it's not meant to be in my life. And I'll find even 24 hours later, someone's true colors have been shown, something's fallen through, something has been made very obvious to me, and I just know that that's the Lord speaking to me. And I went to him specifically with this prayer, and then I woke up and my day started with that on my mind. And you pick up on these small signals and these words, and there's just so many ways that the Lord can speak to you. And so don't get caught up thinking that it's not okay to pray specifically in your quiet time. And finally is kind of where I find my peace, and that's just knowing that there is no decision I could make on this earth that would unwrite God's will for me. So if I make the wrong decision now, sure, it might make the road a little bit more winding. I might have just let more evil into my life and into my heart, and maybe, that's not great, but my destination will never change. So I know that no matter what decision I make, if I had gone with God to begin with, probably would have saved myself some time, definitely some heartache, but it's going to be okay, because at the end of the day, it's God's will that's going to come into fruition. And so I really sit with that and resonate with that, and that provides me all the motivation I need to, sleep well at night, not stress over these small things, and just really rely on God and know that my life is in his hands no matter what I think or what I do. And so I hope that resonates with your heart and you find some peace in that as well, and you have a great week.
Well, thank you, Courtney. Thank you so much for just sharing with us this week. We know that you're a very busy young lady, but to take time and to share your heart, we appreciate that. Well, that's all we have for this week's Agape Leaders Monday Motivation. Until next time, you have a blessed week.